Hello, you've caught me trying to relace my flipping shoe. I just can't get this flipping end bit just to go through.
Why are you struggling? I don't understand.
Because the plastic bits come off the end of that because it just snapped off, so that it's all frayed and there's nothing to get any purchase on.
Do you want me to?
No. Lacing up your shoe properly is, for me, one of the hardest things in life, I think. Right up there with remembering to water houseplants and raising children. But whenever I'm faced with a Rogue Wave-sized difficulty wall that is any one of these three real-life things, I console myself by escaping into the virtual safe space of video games, a realm where my stupidly large thumbs and fingers can find respite from shoelace failure by transforming me into a dragon-slaying, goal-scoring demigod. That is, until I encounter the video game equivalent of this. You know, things that stump you out of nowhere. Bits in games, be it a level or a boss or a race, that you never expected to be difficult, but that floor you time and again. Here then are 7 impossible bits in games you never thought would be that hard. Flippin'.
Have you tried licking the end?
Yes, I have tried licking the end. Our first entry is the Chocobo Race minigame in Final Fantasy X. More specifically, finishing the Chocobo Race minigame in Final Fantasy X in under 0 seconds so as to unlock the Sun Sigil for Tidus' celestial weapon. We have talked about this a fair few times on the channel before, but it is one of the hardest things to do in all of games, so it's going on the list. If you're unfamiliar with this, you'd be forgiven for wondering how on earth you finish something in under 0 seconds. And that's because you don't 999 times out of 1,000. You've got to collect the balloons, which take time off your score, while dodging all the birds, which massively slow you down. Sounds simple enough, but just ask anyone with the Final Fantasy X Platinum Trophy about this and see how they react. Hey Alex, yeah, I just wondered if I could ask you about the Final Fantasy X Chocobo Race.
No, don't ask me!
This is outlandishly difficult, and the only real strategy is to just keep trying until that one time where you just do it and then never have to think about it again. I actually did this on PS... Shut up! The next entry on this list of 7 impossible bits in games you never thought would be that hard is Lockpicking in Kingdom Come Deliverance and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, the thing is, we've been mollycoddled, us gamers, sheltered from the harsh realities of actual lockpicking by RPGs that sycophantically tell us how good we are at it, like a parent telling their toddler what a good drawing of an elephant they've done after being presented with an ineligible grey scribble.
Oh, well done! You are good at lockpicking, aren't you? Have 100,000 squajillion lockpicking points.
Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is not like that. In its quest to be all real and hard and to mimic what it actually might have been like to live as a peasant in the Middle Ages, you're dressed in rags, you smell, and nobody likes you. Lockpicking in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is, I imagine, about as simple as being handed a paperclip in real life and being asked to break out of a prison cell. Oh, it's broken again.
You idiot! And you stink!
I think in my entire career as a Kingdom Come peasant across both the first and second games, I can count the number of locks I've successfully picked on one hand. Even the lock both games use as the tutorial for lockpicking I struggle with, it's embarrassing. Luckily, the whole point of Kingdom Come Deliverance is that you can approach quests however you like. So, I just roleplay as a morally upstanding member of the community who wouldn't even think about crime as a means of obtaining that crucial item from that person's house. That's just not the type of thing I would do.
Didn't you murder an entire village the other day just because you thought it would be funny?
The third thing we never thought would be that hard, but was the dev times in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I kind of did expect them to be this hard, if I'm honest. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Crash Team Racing is, in my opinion, the finest karting game ever made. The chasm in quality between someone who's just picked it up and someone who's properly, seriously, dev time conqueringly good at it is so vast you'd need to fast travel to get from one end to the other. But even so, these times set by Beenox devs are so good that even the best of the best CTR players will struggle. For the uninitiated, every track in Crash Team Racing has a time trial mode where you can set your own best time while challenging those set by series villains Entropy and Nitrous Oxide. I used to think that being able to beat all of Oxide's times was what set you apart as an elite CTR player. Typically, this will involve mastering all the shortcuts and competently holding the blue flame boost for extended periods. Tough, but doable with practice. Then a new tier of impossible was released in a post-game update, Emperor Velo's times. Even faster than Oxide, beating these essentially requires you to be pretty much perfect on every track. Nailing every shortcut, faultless boosting throughout, doing the special handbrake turn in mid-air trick, the works. But the game wasn't done there. Enter the dev times, a gauntlet laid down by Beanox for the 1%. The best of the best. The true CTR masters. Not me. Look, if you've beaten all of the dev times in CTR, then well done. You have better and stronger thumbs than I ever will. I'm not a very good Crash Team Racing player. I'm not a very good Tekken player either, but even so, nothing could have prepared me for the absolute pasting I took at the hands of Akuma at the end of Tekken 7's story mode. You defeat Heihachi, you chuck him in a volcano, so far so Tekken, and then you settle yourself down for what you assume are going to be the end credits. And then this guy shows up, summoned by Heihachi from the bowels of Street Fighter hell. Akuma decides he's still up for a scrap and proceeds to relentlessly combo you into oblivion while you struggle to get a punch in edgeways. He is so fast, he is so strong, he is so unlike any other Tekken boss you've ever fought. Not to mention the fact his health slowly regenerates if you go too long without hitting him, the massive cheat. This is a massive step up in difficulty for a Tekken story mode fight. The amount of times I had to endure this cutscene at the start as he boasts about his power. Luckily, I have devised an excellent strategy for dealing with Akuma that I will now demonstrate. The fifth entry, and this is going to be your opportunity to have a good laugh at my expense, is not difficult. I've never met anyone else who's found this difficult, but for some reason I found it so difficult I simply had to put it on this list, if for no other reason than to get it off my chest. The third Colossus in Shadow of the Colossus...
That's easy.
Let me finish. The third Colossus in Shadow of the Colossus has this platforming bit that you have to do to get to the arena that culminates in this little jump backwards off a pillar that, for some inexplicable reason, I cannot do. I reckon I've got a 20% success rate with this jump. So simple, so innocuous, but fail it and oh, down you go into the water, necessitating a long swim and climb back to the top of the pillar to try it again. Imagine me back on PS2, failing this definitely 10 times in a row. Jump, fall, swim, climb, repeat. It was honestly a relief when I finally got to the Colossus and all I had to deal with was a 500-foot rock monster with a sword the size of a skyscraper. Now that is easy.
Didn't you die 3 times before you...
Our penultimate entry is everyone's favourite bad time, Sans from Undertale, the good-natured but clearly suffers no fool's final boss of the let's kill literally everything run. He is your punishment. Well, no, he's more like your judgment. Because you can make it through Undertale by sweet-talking the EXP out of most enemies. Nice hat.
What a compliment, undefeated.
Sans is what the game throws at you if you choose to play by the old-school rules of hitting everything to death. Up to this point, he and his brother Papyrus are used as comic relief. He's a nice man, or skeleton, funny, friendly, and with the power level of an exploding sun, apparently, which he shows off immediately, quipping that he never understands why people don't just use their strongest attack straight away. Undertale's whole shtick is about raising a magnifying glass to the tropes of RPGs before frying them in a concentrated beam of satire. So we should have seen this coming, to be honest. Sans, his name game and dialogue written in Comic Sans, pulverising not just the rules of RPGs, but the rules of Undertale itself, as he rips your little bullet hell box a new one right from the off. Screen-shattering attack, impossible to dodge attack, quip, repeat. The other cruel thing about this fight is that in Megalovania, it has one of the catchiest boss themes of all time, but because Sans is so hard, you'll be lucky to hear more than 30 seconds of it. A fight that will have you laughing at its brazen ingenuity, while simultaneously crying at its soul-crushing difficulty. Who'd have ever thought one so small could cause so much pain? The final entry on this list of impossible bits in games we never thought would be that hard is Through the Fire and Flames on expert difficulty in Guitar Hero 3. A notoriously hardcore challenge that makes an absolute mockery of anyone who claims they can play Guitar Hero 3 on expert. And maybe you can, for most songs. It takes a bit of practice, doesn't it? That leap where you have to retrain your brain to accommodate the orange button as well as all the others, unlearning and relearning muscle memory in your fingers as you're forced to move your hand up and down the guitar. But you practice and you do it, and you get so good at Guitar Hero that you stand up in the living room at that house party and flex your skills by rinsing Welcome to the Jungle on expert while making sure that person you fancy is definitely watching. I can feel it. I can feel that swell in my stomach to this day. She was so impressed, I could tell. Anyway, you unlock Through the Fire and Flames upon completion of the campaign, and the sounds of cheering and rocking turn to boos and loose strings as what can only be described as a deluge of notes hurls your way, so fast it's hard enough to keep track of them with your eyes, let alone have time for those same eyes to signal to your brain and then your fingers what button they're supposed to be pressing. Is Katie still watching?
Oh, she left.
It's one of the hardest things to do ever in all of games. If you've completed Through the Fire and Flames on expert, then well done you. And there you go, 7 impossible bits in games we never thought would be that hard, but were. Can you think of any examples we've missed? Let us know in the comments, give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
PlayStation